Kacee Carlisle is down.
Hello?
Hey, Kacee, it's Kenny here.
Hey, I don't know what's going on, man. I'm
Yeah,
sorry. I've been trying since
yeah,
7:30 on the nose.
yeah. And you're right. Skype is just not cooperating with me. I feel like I want to give it a body slam at this point. So,
Well, that's okay. I'm just glad that we
yeah,
worked it out.
yeah. So I am now joined with former NWA Women's Champion. And I will continue to say this for as long as this show is going, as long as she's still wrestling. The busiest woman wrestler on the indie scene, Miss Kacee Carlisle. Thank you so much for your patience and thank you for being on this 7-year anniversary show. Appreciate it.
Well, thank you. It's my pleasure to be on, and thank you for wanting to include me. That's a big deal for you, and happy anniversary to the show. That's great.
And I've interviewed you more times than anybody. Um, so I know you got I like to call you the belt collector because you have a history of collecting championship belts. And while I can't afford a belt myself to give to you, but I'm just gonna call you the interview champion of Triple Threat Wrestling.
So I have another title now, huh?
Yeah, yeah. It won't be an actual belt, but it's just I guess you can. It is what it is. I can't afford.
I'm totally cool with that. That's okay. My shoulder and my back are okay with it too. That bag doesn't want to get any heavier.
I got you. I totally got you. So for Kacee, how's your 2018? How's life in the world of Kacee Carlisle right now?
Life. I can't complain. It's going well. I'm busy, and I so appreciate you having that opinion of me and seeing me as the busiest woman. It's something I strive to be as busy as possible because I have to be in the ring and I want to be working, and that's my home and where I want to be. But, as with anything in life, you don't necessarily get what you want, and things don't always go the way that you might want them to. So the fact that I have the ability to be that busy, and the fact that, I'm lucky enough that there are that number of promoters and companies that would like to work and bring me into their show and their events. Everybody is lucky enough to have those opportunities presented to them. So I'm very fortunate. I work very hard for success that I've been lucky enough to achieve, but, part of it is luck as well, and just having the opportunities presented. So I'm fortunate for that as well.
Okay, so I am on your Facebook fan page right now, and there's a post that you made 3 hours ago. And it reads, I will never pass up an opportunity to grab a mic and grace everyone with the angelic sound that is my voice. Everyone at the WCWC learned that firsthand. And we live in the emoji days, so you got an emoji with a smiley face with a little horn around, and then you have the little crown. Now, I gotta ask a question about one of those pictures in particular. I'm gonna assume that's a referee next to you while you on the microphone, and he got it with them championships. Those are your belts?
They are, yeah. You assumed correctly. It is a referee who I decided needed something to do at the moment. So I enlisted his services when I decided to head out to the ring. But yes, those are. I currently hold eight titles, and those are the 6 that I have physical possession of. There's 2 titles that the promoters of those companies, keep the titles in their possession, which is fine. But those 6 titles that are in the photos that you're referring to, as well as some others that have been posted recently over the few weeks, are 6 of that I currently hold, yes. And that photo was taken out in Clackamas, Oregon during the TV tapings that we were doing for the West Coast Wrestling Connection at the beginning of March.
Wow. So you got 8 championships currently, and he held 6 of them on the way to the rings. Not like you just handed him the belts. He carried them on the way to the ring. I hope that he didn't drop none of those belts, or there probably would have, no, not probably, there will be some severe consequences for his well-being. But that's just a testament of your hard work, your dedication, and the fact that these promotions look at you as a high caliber talent, and that, hey, we love Kacee Carlisle. We love what she brings to the table, and we have faith of her being a champion, and that speaks volumes. And yesterday we lost a big name in the wrestling industry in Bruno Sammartino. He is known for his, not just his in-ring talent, he's also known for his character. And in all these years that I've interviewed you, I have preached about your character and how you conduct yourself. And that's what Bruno Sammartino is all about, or what he was able to bring in his illustrious career. And which is why he was a champion for 2,000 days. And you could be the best thing since sliced bread, but if you don't conduct yourself as professional outside the ring, you ain't gonna have much of a career inside the ring. And Bruno Sammartino, he was a true character, a good guy, a good human being, and respect to him, and may he rest in peace. And as far as you, Kacee Carlisle, you have some Bruno Sammartino in you as far as character and how you conduct yourself and how you go out there and give it 110% every time you step in between those ropes. And I admire that from anyone, regardless if they're a wrestler or a doctor or a warehouse person, anyone that just works hard and give it all they have. That deserves respect, and that's why I respect.
Well, thank you.
I respect Bruno Sammartino, and I respect Kacee Carlisle for what y'all bring inside the ring and outside the ring. So I put you in that.
Well, thank you for that.
Yeah, so I put you in the same limelight as far as character, and I feel like it's more important than ever for wrestlers to conduct themselves professionally, because we live in the social media age, and everybody's watching your every move, every picture that you take, and people are always going to take things, are going to twist it into some naked light, and it's very important for people to conduct themselves professionally. And for you, Kacee, Bruno Sammartino meant so much to so many people. You being a wrestler yourself, and we also lost Paul Jones as well. What was your reaction when you heard the news of those two individuals passed away, and what they meant to you as a fellow wrestler like yourself?
Oh, I think my reaction, and I'll even lump in Johnny Valiant to that as well, who just a week ago or so, I think it was. I think my reaction would have been a lot like anyone. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm getting over a horrible cold, so if I sound really, really terrible, I apologize. I think that my reaction probably was like most other people who, I did not ever have the pleasure of meeting either one of those gentlemen. I did have the pleasure of meeting Johnny Valiant and working with him on a few different events back earlier on in my career. And he was wonderful. He was somebody I could say that I had met and worked with, and I knew on, I won't say a personal level, but he wasn't just, the name or the legacy. But Bruno and Paul, I think for people who are of the generation I am, who grew up not necessarily in those two gentlemen's heyday, but, still they were very, very solid names, very much had a place, a drawing power in the business, and I saw that if it was not in real time. When I started watching wrestling, I know Bruno was, and I don't believe Paul was active, but I was one of the people, because of my love of wrestling, who would go back and watch old tapes and read old magazines and study and learn everything I could. And I knew very much of them from watching those tapes and so forth. So even though I wasn't a fan during their heyday, I was a fan of what they contributed and what they represented and what they brought to the business in both unique ways. A lot of people probably are sitting there wondering who Paul Jones is. And I don't mean that disrespectfully to him, but I mean, he was one of those guys that people would consider a workhorse, and people would say he's always underrated and always underappreciated, because I think he was. And, it's almost like, it's like life. Wrestling is no different than life in the sense that, all of the people who once were those big stars that we grew up knowing and idolizing, and that did the standard in many ways and in many different areas of the business, we're getting to the point where we're losing a lot of them, sadly, and with them go the experience and the knowledge and the tricks of the trade and even the road stories, everything. And I think it's so important to soak what we can while we still have the ability to do so. That's why I say it's like life. It's just like a family member. You want to hear the family stories. You want to hear about when they were young, or tell me something funny that happened, or tell me a time you got help. I would never picture grandma in trouble, things like that. But it's a blow to our business. It's really very sad, but thankfully there will always be the footage of them that lives on. There will always be, hopefully, the knowledge that they have been in the ring with, or maybe have helped train or influenced in any way, gets passed down somehow. It's always sad when you lose somebody. It makes me sad being the girl that grew up in the 80s, watching these guys and knowing them. It is very sad, and it's a loss for our business.
Rest in peace to all three men. I'm very familiar with Bruno. I know a lot of people that are familiar with Valiant, and those that are familiar with Jones and what they've contributed. A lot of people grew up on Hogan. A lot of people grew up with Bruno. A lot of people admire what Bruno brought to the table in Valiant, Jones, and you're right about Jones. Totally underrated. Someone that, for a guy that's accomplished so much, but people don't put his name out there as far as, I guess millennials may have played a role to it, but that's his.
Mm-hmm. You'll be hard-pressed to find somebody who's going to name him in their top 3, 5, whatever, just because he was so good, but so flew under the radar and just was underappreciated.
And John, he was just a sensational guy, very talented dude. And so is Bruno, and so is Valiant. I never got a chance to meet either three, but I watched him from afar like everybody else. I guess as far as the footage that YouTube, Googling, and learning what they've done. And I know some people that have either met him or got a chance to see him in person, and they all echo the same thing. All three are genuine people, and we didn't just lose great wrestlers. We in the business, we lost good people, and condolences go out to all three and their families in this trying time. Um, Now, as we switch gears to you, Kacee, you got a lot going on with yourself. Being the busy woman that you are, why don't you go ahead promote your upcoming shows, and where can check you out?
Well, in the next few weeks that we have coming up, actually this coming Saturday, the 21st, I will be in Farmville, Virginia. That's going to be for Bruiser West Wrestling Federation at Prince Edward Middle School. I believe it's a fundraiser, an after-prom party for the school, but that is one of the promotions that I am currently the champion of. So BWF women's title is going to be on the line that night against Casey Dillon. So that's in Farmville this Saturday. It has an 8 p.m. bell time. The following weekend, on Friday the 27th, I will be in Mount Storm, West Virginia, for Elite Pro Wrestling Alliance. I am currently their women's champion as well, and we have actually a triple threat match scheduled that night. It's going to be Ralph facing Danny DeVille facing Avery Rose, and that I believe has a 7 time. Unfortunately, I cannot remember the exact venue, and I want to name something that's incorrect, but everyone can obviously find them on Facebook under Elite Pro Wrestling or Elite Pro Universe and get the details about that. Next Saturday, April 28th, I'll be in Ashland, Virginia for Ultimate Championship Wrestling, and their women's title is currently vacant, and I'm one of the ladies wrestling the match to determine the new champion. It's going to be myself taking on Avery Rose, and that will be our first singles match. Avery is a very young, up-and-coming wrestler in the Maryland, West Virginia area. That's next Saturday down at the Hoops Academy in Ashland, Virginia, PCW. And the following weekend, the first weekend of May, I will be out back out in the Portland, Oregon area, and Clackamas, Oregon, on that Saturday and Sunday for another round of TV tapings for the West Coast Wrestling Connection. And tickets for that event actually just went on sale. Fans can find them on Facebook or the WCWC's website, I believe is WWC.com. I may be wrong about that. But fans out in the Pacific Northwest area are definitely encouraged to come attend the tapings and have a blast. Those are always you get a long day of action, but it's always really good, solid action. So that's what I have coming up the next few weeks. After that, getting into May, I'll be heading out into Ohio. I have things in Alabama coming up. I have some things in Delaware coming up, some more things in Virginia. I may be going back out to Texas later this year. So a lot of things, a lot of balls in the air as usual. A lot of people kind of still being locked down and confirmed. But what I just ran down is all confirmed for the next few weeks. And everybody, as always, is always welcome to keep up with me on social media or on my website. And I always have the information as far as the events and where I'll be appearing there.
And people can check out more info on Kacee Carlisle at her official website. That is www.kaceecarlisle.com, or of her events, or posted there, social media links, photos, past interviews, merchandise. She even got her very own pro wrestling tees page. She got t-shirts. So go check them out. And there's no way I'm going to end this monumental milestone of mine, considering that I have the belt collector known Kacee Carlisle without trying to. I don't know what to say. Like my promoters, like where y'all at? Where are y'all? Like y'all booking a lot of talented people, and I appreciate that as a fan. But I'm gonna need for y'all to book Kacee Carlisle on one of these shows. Uh, like what is it going to take to get Kacee Carlisle on here? She's ready. She's busy. And I get she's a busy woman. She's a busy woman, no doubt. But she's always open, new shows, new opportunities, new opponents. So to my Kentucky promoters, I ask this as a die-hard and passionate fan that is professional wrestling, please book Kacee Carlisle to a Kentucky wrestling event somewhere, north, east, south. Do something. Do something.
Well, thank you, Kenny.
Got me sounding like John Cena trying to call out the Undertaker or something. I don't know. But do something. That's all I ask. I say this politely with all due respect. But I also say this to you, Kacee. Believe it or not, I have been going to wrestling shows outside of Kentucky. I go to Indiana, for example. I go to Girl Fight Wrestling. They do shows there. There are some wrestling shows in Jeffersonville, Indiana. You've been in Indiana in the past, obviously. So I will reach out to Jeffersonville, Indiana people. No, I'll go book her too. If not Kentucky, then Indiana. So now my asking is extended beyond Kentucky now. It's now Indiana. So especially.
Well, I'll tell you, Kenny, you'll be happy to know I've actually been in talks with people about the girl fight. We just have not been able to work out scheduling yet. But those talks have happened, so you'll be happy to know that there's potential there.
That's been the best thing. That may have been the best thing I've heard in almost 2 hours of this show. So
I was trying to give you a good way to close out your 7-year anniversary.
well, you like a batter on the plate. You hit a home run with that one. So thank you. So on that note, that is how we're going to end the 7-year anniversary of this show. I want to thank Brian Stofko for calling in. I want to thank Paris Kelly, and I want to thank Kacee Carlisle for calling in. Thank you, Kacee, for all you do. Thank you for always being able to call in, even when I did message you 2 days prior when I usually do it earlier. But I apologize for that. But thank you so much, and thank you for bringing that angelic voice of yours to these airwaves as well.
Well, it's my pleasure, and thank you again for having me on and having me part of it.
So thank you, and I will keep an eye on the Girl Fight page. I am going to the next show on May the 8th, so maybe they'll make some future announcements or something by then. So maybe y'all have something confirmed by then. But thank you. Continue success. Hang on to those belts. Matter of fact, you got 8. Go for 10. Go for 10. Go for 2 more. Get more belts to your collection, if you will.
I'm just going to see how many I can rack up.
Yeah, there you go. Continue success. You have a good night. Have a good weekend.
Thank you so much. You too, Kenny. Take care.
All right, bye-bye.